Well, the fact that the attack in the supermarket was not just a normal supermarket but a kosher grocery in the capital here in France has spread alarm within the French Jewish community, and it has endured anti-Semitic attacks over the last few years. Joining us live from the Sky News Centre now, Jonathan Sacerdoti, the Director of Communications at the Campaign Against Anti-Semitism. What went through your mind, Jonathan, when you realised that a kosher supermarket had been targeted here in Paris this afternoon?
Well, sadly, Jewish people have been braced for this kind of attack for some time because the Jews have been the brunt of Islamist extremism for many years now. So unfortunately, people may have been surprised that this happened to a Jewish grocery, but I have to say that it was a matter of when, not if.
And that's not something that can be sustained. We can't have the Jewish community living in fear of radicalized Islamists going after them. There's got to be a way of reorganizing this to everyone's satisfaction. I mean, it sounds glib, but where do we go from here?
It's no coincidence, in fact, that the last year saw record immigration from France to Israel of Jewish people, and the UK is also seeing a huge population shift of Jewish people from the UK moving to Israel. These numbers are going up because Jews in Europe don't feel safe. And actually, this isn't just a Jewish problem. This is a problem for the whole of Europe, and here in the UK, it's a problem for Britain. That minority groups like Jews don't feel safe in the country and don't feel like they're being protected from this sort of brutal attack, which could happen at any time, even here in the United Kingdom.
Do you get the sense that governments in Europe and general societies in Europe aren't taking this problem seriously enough?
In part, governments do say that they're taking this very seriously, and my organisation met just yesterday with Theresa May to discuss anti-Semitism in the United Kingdom and the ways in which we can work together to target this pernicious and evil thing that is taking over people's fears. However, the laws we have now are good enough to prosecute people who are taking this sort of action and carrying out these attacks, but it needs to be enforced with zero tolerance, and some people are afraid that that's not happening, that they're not being sufficiently protected. So really, governments across Europe need to take seriously this threat, which is predominantly coming from extremist Islam, and that's what needs to happen. We need to stop pretending that this is a series of lone wolves or lunatics who have acted on their own, and start acknowledging that the world over, and in Europe especially, with the threat of British-born jihadis returning here, and in mainland Europe, people returning there with training from Syria and Iraq, we need to accept that this is a threat that should be targeted by the whole world, and the leaders of the free Western world need to take this on together in order to help people feel protected.
Jonathan Sacerdoti, thanks very much indeed for joining us this evening on Sky News.